Hello again, everyone. Deflect here, Firm but Fair Gaming. Wanted to bring out a new video. I got KSM. Took me about 2 weeks and was able to get it, so that wasn't too bad. It was just a little over 2 weeks. I think it's been like 2 weeks and 2 days, but that was what I was able to do. 2010 is my IO. Now I want to show you the build I'm currently using with this. It did change a bit since the last one I put out and from the one I used before. So there is a small difference and a lot of gear difference. We'll go through the gear first just because it's easiest. I'm still using the same legendaries. Penitent one. The Power Word Radiance has a 60% chance to cause your next penance to be free and fire 3 extra bolts. And Unity, of course. Other than that, the gear, I just kind of mix and match for my best stats. I managed to get the Mastery Trinket. I also got the Meat Hook as well for the extra haste. So that gives me base stats of 20 crit, 21 haste, only 13, 14 verse in there, and 43.7 mastery. So a ton of mastery. I would change a bit of it out to get a little more crit, but I get a lot of haste from the Meat Hook. So when I drop this, it goes up to 45% haste, and B from Shrouded. So I was getting tons of haste that way. As for the Soulbind I'm using, I am still using Mechanicos. I still have crappy item level Soulbinds in here. I didn't spend the flux on getting new ones, but I'm using Courageous Ascension. I'm using Clear Mind. I'm using Charitable Soul. I'm using Condensed Atmosphere, Shining Radiance, and Light's Inspiration. And as you can see the path, I mainly stick to the left except for the center. Very center. But that's what I'm using for the Soulbinds. As always, I'm Curian. And the talent I changed up a bit. So I couldn't handle being so slow. It was atrociously slow on the Priest. But I am using Twist of Fate. After healing a target below 35% health, you deal 20% increased damage and 20% increased healing. I'm using Angelic Feather because I needed to move quicker. I couldn't do it with the other one, so I had to use it. I am using Mindbender just because you get it every 1 minute, and each time it hits, it's regens 0.5% of your maximum mana each attack, so it does get you quite a bit of mana each minute, rather than waiting for the 3-minute CD on the other one. Shining Force, create a burst light around a friendly target, knocking away enemies. I don't use it a ton, to be honest. There wasn't much call for it. I do have it, I just don't use it a ton. Psychic Scream actually would come in probably handier. Just having a 30-second scream, mainly for the Zolg pack, so you can scream every other one versus every third one. Sins of the Many is the one I am using. Your damage is increased by up to 12%, diminishing for each ally affected by your atonement, which kind of sucks, but there wasn't really a great choice of this. Contrition, when you heal with penance, everyone with your atonement is healed for extra. I debated this. I really didn't test it out to know, so I just went with Sins of the Many. Divine Star I use all the time. Divine Star is awesome. Shoot it out quite a bit. And it does decent amount for everything I use. So that's I guess the healing. Let's see if I can get a damage on my Divine Star. I'll have to check it at one of my logs. I'll have to check out one of the logs anyway and see because it does damage and healing, which is great. So that's what I'm using for talents. And the rotation I was going with, so there's really only one that matters, was ramp. You can see my UI. I PI at the beginning. I just usually PI the one with the highest. I know it's not a great thing, but it's a place to start. And then I'll look at the damage meters and check people's cooldowns to see about PIing someone else. As for my rotation, I'm just trying to put Shadow Word Pain on ones because I have a mouse over for it. So I just mouse over, put Pain on. If people are taking damage, we got to put a shield up, or we got to put Shadow Meld on someone. When I'm ramping, I will hit Radiance first, then I'll hit Boom, and then I'll go into the Blast and Ascendance. And now I will throw out a Divine Star while this is on Ascendance Blast is on CD. So I will throw that out as well, just to heal some people. Because it's usually I'm usually ramping during a big damage time. and then I'll finish, you know, with a penance or something. So I would like, if I have the time and people aren't getting hugely hit, I like to Shadow Pain as much as I can before I ramp, and then always try and do Radiance before. And then sometimes you do proc the extra penance, so I usually save it to the end. But that's kind of the ramp I'm using with Boon. I did find it worked pretty well for me. I managed to keep a lot of people up. If you're taking heavy damage and you still want to ramp, you can always put shield up too. So I wanted to show like one of the logs I had just to show why I'm using the certain things. This is just one of the streets I did at the very end. It was 16 streets, and the damage profile was Penance, obviously a lot. Ascendant's Blast was up there. So once you get a lot of haste and you start like using the trinket with your ramp and stuff, you're basically blasting it in one Nova, then back to blast. You're getting a ton of blasts out. As you can see, it's 1-for-1 Nova for blast, and Nova does 6% of my damage, where blast does almost 16%. So it was huge. And throwing out a divine star with only 47 divine stars, I was doing 8.8% of my damage with it. And the eruption, you want to be a lot nearer a bunch of enemies when you are finishing, but it is within 15 yards, so it wasn't too bad. But the Nova doesn't do much damage. It just reduces the cooldown, so you do have to use it, but it doesn't do a ton of damage. Mine Seer was about 9.5. This was on a streets, by the way. And you can see the healing that Divine Star does too. So it did like 9% and almost 9% of my damage, and does almost it does just over 4.5% of my healing. So it is very good to use. Radiance is up there, and obviously Atonement was huge. I did Shadow Mend quite a bit. Condensed Atmosphere wasn't that big. I could switch this out for something else. It wasn't huge for me. It only did 2.7, so it's very negligible. I don't take enough hits to make it worth really while, but I just haven't switched it with anything, to be honest. Penance for healing really didn't heal that much, because it goes really into Atonement, because I try not to direct heal with Penance. I try to do damage with it to do the healing. So again, the ramp, when you have a ton, I have use the meat hook with it too. So again, you always try to have things dotted if you can. This is ideal if you have time to have things dotted. If you have time to have Mind Blast, you can always Divine Star before work, and then you go into your Power Word Radiance, your Boon, and then your Ascendance Blast. And you can get 2 Novas when you don't have enough haste from Shrouded in, and if you do have enough haste from Shrouded, you can't get 2 Novas in between each blast. But that's what I do until until it's over, unless everyone's still taking heavy damage halfway through the Boon, and then I will throw out another Power Word Radiance halfway through, and then blast again, because it does great healing. So that was how I was ramping. If you have any questions on it, let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a KSM on something else, if you'd like to see a different video like mini series. I have debated a PvP one. I'm not great at PvP, so it won't be for Glad or anything, I'll tell you that right now. But I do think I could probably get to maybe 2K. I have debated that. I put out one video starting that, but I haven't got too much into it. So I do have quite a few tanks. I do have all the tanks but one that I play regularly. I don't play Warrior a lot, so I don't have that tank really that well up there. But anything else, if you want to see something, if you have any questions, leave a comment. And don't forget to check out the Twitch. If you can hit that subscribe button on the Twitch, would be huge help. And hit the subscribe button on YouTube is also a huge help. Thank you all for watching. Deflect, Firm, but Fair Gaming.